Previously, I uploaded a video showcasing 10 great and easy platinum trophies everyone can earn, and as I am still working on getting my 300th platinum trophy, I decided to make another video. So, here are 10 more great and easy platinum trophies for you to earn. Perhaps unsurprisingly, kicking us off we have 2018's God of War, the reimagining of the franchise, featuring as always Kratos, accompanied by his son Atreus, also known as Boy! This entry has transitioned from Greek mythology into Norse, in the realm of Midgard specifically. The story follows Kratos and Atreus on a personal journey to scatter the ashes of their late wife and mother from the highest peak of all the 9 realms, taking players on an emotional journey of growth, while dealing with conflict and Norse gods along the way. In terms of trophies, God of War is a 4 out of 10 difficulty. Everything can be done in one playthrough, which will take around 40 hours. The trophies range from the usual story completion into some collectibles, none of which are missable, side quests and bosses, the hardest trophy being for defeating the Queen of the Valkyries. However, if you play on an easier difficulty with the best gear and weapon upgrades, this is a slight bit easier. Before moving on to our next entry, it would be silly of me not to mention 2022's God of War Ragnarok, a sequel to the previously mentioned God of War. In this entry, Kratos and Atreus continue their adventure, trying to prevent Ragnarok from destroying the 9 realms, also encountering Thor and Odin, who I must say the performances for are. In terms of trophies, Ragnarok is also a 4 out of 10 difficulty that will only require one playthrough, which can take around 50 hours to clean up everything. As with the previous God of War, most trophies will be earned for the initial story run, with others being related side quests, collectibles and boss fights, all of which are pretty manageable with upgraded gear and lower difficulties if you're like me. With both games featuring incredible graphics, worlds, stories, characters and atmosphere, I'd be surprised if you haven't at least played them. But if you haven't or haven't went for the platinum trophies yet, what better time than now? In second place is the incredibly underrated Sleeping Dogs.
A man who never eats pork buns is never a whole man.
This 2012 release, which also has a 2014 definitive edition, is an action-adventure game which places you in the shoes of Wei Shen, an undercover police officer sent to infiltrate the Triads, taking full advantage of his efficiency in martial arts, combat, shooting and parkour abilities. Sleeping Dogs has an incredibly fun and interesting story, and a great open world to explore too. In terms of trophies, it is a 3 out of 10 difficulty. Everything can be done in one playthrough, which will take around 30 hours. Besides completing the story, most of your time will be spent with side content and collectibles. One day we will hopefully get a proper sequel, and hopefully the movie isn't terrible. Number 3 is No Man's Sky, the 2016 action-adventure survival game that, let's be honest, didn't start out too hot. But since then it has gotten significantly better with some stellar updates from the development team. In No Man's Sky, you can engage with the entirety of the procedurally generated open world universe, which has over 18 quintillion planets.
Wow.
You can use exploration, survival, combat and trading elements to play how you choose, with each planet having its own flora and fauna systems randomly generated, as well as various alien species which can be hostile or friendly, and differing weather and atmosphere systems on each planet. Choosing to build your own bases and trade with aliens, or explore the mystery known as the Atlas is entirely up to you. And in terms of trophies, it is a 2 out of 10 difficulty, with everything being able to be done in one playthrough at around 25 hours. As I previously said, at launch this game was not very good, but at this point, fair play to the development team for sticking with it for so long and putting out so many great updates since then. Cheating a little bit with my next entry, we have the Jak Daxter series, starting way back in 2001 on the PS2 with the original Jak Daxter, the precursor Legacy, a platformer where you play as Jak, setting out on a journey to transform his friend Daxter back from an Ottsel, which is a hybrid of an otter and a weasel, into a real boy again. This quest eventually becomes an effort to save the world, allowing you to explore a variety of interconnected areas with an array of collectibles in each area. Jak 2, a 2003 sequel, enhanced and polished everything from the original in every way, again featuring Jak and Daxter, obviously. After years of Jak being experimented on with Dark Eco, which is the same thing that transformed Daxter in the first game, he is rescued and joins a group of rebels to fight the good fight. In this dark entry, Jak can now speak and also has new weaponry to use during his journey through the new playable area, Haven City. He can also use a hoverboard and vehicles called Zoomers to navigate the city, as well as having Dark Eco powers too. The conclusion to the trilogy, Jak 3, released in 2004, adding new weapons, devices and playable areas for Jak and Daxter to explore. Starting off in a wasteland that Jak and Daxter are banished to, Jak 3 has a larger, more open world than Jak 2, along with light Jak powers to go with the dark Jak ones. It also contains more weapon upgrades and more vehicles that are able to be used in the wasteland area. There is a fourth entry in the series, 2005's Jak X Combat Racing, a spin-off where Jak and his allies are kidnapped and poisoned and must partake in championship combat racing to receive an antidote. Jak X is modeled off of Jak 3's racing controls and features multiple championship series as well as exhibition racing modes. Jak 1, 2, 3 and X were all released on the PS4 in 2017. These can also be played on the PS5 with backwards compatibility. In terms of trophies, none of these are significantly difficult to get the platinum on. Jak 1 is a 3 out of 10 difficulty, with everything being obtainable in one playthrough at about 10 hours. The most difficult trophy is for collecting all the collectibles. Jak 2 is a 5 out of 10 difficulty, with one playthrough and about 18 hours, and Jak 3 is a 4 out of 10 difficulty, with one playthrough and about 20 hours. And as stated, the most difficult trophy in Jak 2 and 3 is also for collectibles, specifically the precursor orbs, as in Jak 2 there are 286, and in Jak 3 there are 600. Jak X is a 4 out of 10 difficulty, with everything obtainable in one playthrough at around about 15 hours. Moving on to number 5, we have the 2023 action role-playing game, the always popular and never controversial Hogwarts Legacy. This takes place a century before the Harry Potter novels and films, and in this you control a student who is also enrolled at Hogwarts, obviously, starting from their 5th year with a mysterious knowledge of ancient magic. You can choose whichever house you would like to be in, with all of them offering unique common rooms and house exclusive quests. From here on, you can attend classes to learn new spells, brew potions and create your own area in the Room of Requirement, or explore the gorgeous open world. In terms of trophies, Hogwarts Legacy is a 3 out of 10 difficulty, with one playthrough being required for the largest majority of trophies, which will take you around about 50 hours minimum to earn. I say one playthrough as it is one full playthrough, but you will need to reach the map chamber with each of the 4 houses, which will take a few hours of gameplay each. So it's not 4 full playthroughs, just 1 and 3 1 to 2 hour playthroughs at the beginning. Other than this, the longest time will be spent on collectible trophies, none of which are too taxing if you use guides or walkthroughs. Moving from Hogwarts to Hogwarts, in 6th place we have the LEGO Harry Potter series. In this series there are 2 games, which are split into years 1 through 4, and then years 5 through 7. In these, as you can probably expect, you go back through Harry's journey as seen in the books and movies, but this time in glorious LEGO format instead, with all of the silly and goofy LEGO things you would expect included. If you've played a LEGO game before, you will know exactly what to expect, and if not, these are usually always in some form of a sale or going pretty cheap, so you might as well head in and see what they're like. Trophies wise, these are both a 2 out of 10 difficulty, with 2 playthroughs required and around 30 hours or so to complete, with most collectible trophies being for unlocking characters or finding remaining collectibles in the levels. Moving away from Hogwarts and on to cats, coming in at number 7 is a 2022 adventure game, Stray. In this wonderful little game you play as, you probably guessed it, a stray cat who falls into a walled off city populated by robots and sets off on a quest to return to the surface, with the help of a drone companion. In Stray, you can explore the world with all your traditional cat-like methods, meowing, jumping and scratching, with bonus options such as nuzzling up to NPCs and watching the responses. If you haven't played this, I recommend it. The Platinum Trophy is a 3 out of 10 difficulty, with 2 playthroughs required, which will take around 8 hours total. The hardest trophy is for completing the game in less than 2 hours and for completing a pursuit section without any critters landing on you. But honestly, none of these are really bad at all. If you haven't played this game yet, I mean, why not? Look at the kitty. Heading back to a slightly older but still just as fun entry, we have 2015's Rocket League. This sports style game has you playing football, or soccer if you're not cultured, with a twist. You play it with cars instead. The aim remains the same however, 2 separate teams trying to score in the opponent's goal, featuring single player and multiplayer, online modes and full cross-platform. They have even added other modes including weapons and other specific modes that change the ball style or random gameplay elements to make this more fun and enjoyable. It has also had numerous collabs throughout the years, such as Scooby-Doo, Spider-Man, Star Wars, The Simpsons, Cyberpunk, Deadpool and more. And in terms of trophies, Rocket League is a 2 out of 10 difficulty that would take around about 10 hours to complete. One of the things with this Rocket League however is that there are currently 9 additional packs of DLC and miscellaneous trophies for you to earn for that sweet 100% completion. Our penultimate main entry on the list is the excellent High on Life, a comedic first person shooter with talking guns, naturally. In this you must help Kenny, a previously mentioned talking gun, save your planet from the G3 cartel, becoming a bounty hunter, taking out other cartel members and getting a fun array of talking guns in the process. If you've not yet played this game, you should before the sequel comes out. Or if you're watching and the sequel has come out, please let me know some winning lottery numbers. Thank you. But seriously, this game is excellent and hilarious. And in terms of trophies, it is a 3 out of 10 difficulty. Everything can be done in one playthrough at around 15 hours. The only difficult-ish trophies are related to collectibles, which as always aren't too bad if you follow a walkthrough. It wouldn't be a top 10 trophies video without a bonus entry, so here we go. The first of 3 bonus entries that didn't make the main cut is 2020's PS5 launch title, Bugsnax. In this adventure game, you explore a mysterious island, finding and capturing half insect, half food creatures, using your tools to learn their movements, tastes, and clues to capture them. Eventually unlocking new tools to attract the Bugsnax creatures with ketchup and chocolate. Yup. As bizarre and silly as it sounds, it's a really fun experience, and trophy-wise it is only a 2 out of 10 difficulty that can take around 15 hours, and everything obtainable in one playthrough. This is another game that looks really weird, but is actually rather enjoyable. Bonus entry number 2 is the excellent action-adventure game Concrete Genie. In this, you play as Ash, who uses his art journal to create colourful landscapes and creatures which come to life, and work with Ash in an adventure to rid the town of its darkness. You can create the creatures any way which you like, and some of the results can be haunting or magnificent depending on how you make them and your artistic abilities. The gameplay combines platforming, puzzles and creative painting, as Ash collects scattered sketchbook pages, uses different coloured paintings with unique properties, and builds a bond with his genies to bring life and colour back home. Trophy wise, this is a simple 3 out of 10 difficulty. Everything is obtainable in one playthrough at around 8 hours in length, and as always the hardest trophies are related to collectibles. And my final bonus entries are Destroy All Humans and Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, the remakes of the wonderful 2005 and 6 Destroy All Humans 1 and 2 games. In these action-adventure games you play as an alien known as Cryptosporidium 137, or Crypto for short, sent to Earth in the 1950s in Destroy All Humans 1 to harvest human DNA, equipped with an arsenal of alien weapons like the Zap-O-Matic and the Anal Probe, along with telekinesis and disguise abilities, and also a flying saucer. And in Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, this all continues, with more open world locations such as England, Japan, Russia and the USA. Crypto must once again complete missions and harvest enough human DNA, this time in the late 1960s, allowing you to take on the KGB and go to the moon. If you've not played these classics before, I highly recommend it if you like silly games you can relax and have a little bit of fun with. In terms of trophies, neither of these are majorly difficult, with Destroy All Humans 1 being a 4 out of 10 difficulty, with one playthrough required at about 15 hours. Destroy All Humans 2 is about a 3 out of 10 difficulty, with one playthrough required at about 20 hours. Final entry in this list is the Infamous series, mostly focusing on Second Son and First Light, which are available on the PS4 and PS5. Thanks to PlayStation Cloud Streaming, you can play Infamous 1 and 2 also. In these action-adventure games, you play as a superpowered conduit character who has powers and can choose to use them for good or evil, with different story routes and endings depending on your choices. You can choose to fight crime or cause havoc, with having a karma system in place for your choices. They feature a different array of powers for the main characters, like in Infamous 1 and 2, electrokinesis, electromagnetism, napalm and cryokinesis. Infamous Second Son has power absorption, smoke, neon, video and concrete, and Infamous First Light has enhanced neon abilities including high-speed traversal, precision sniping and explosive energy. And in terms of trophies, Infamous 1 is a 5 out of 10 difficulty with 3 playthroughs at around 50 hours. Infamous 2 is a 4 out of 10 difficulty with 2 playthroughs at 35 hours. Infamous Second Son is a 3 out of 10 difficulty with 2 playthroughs and 20 hours. And Infamous First Light is a 4 out of 10, 1 playthrough and 20 hours. Fun fact, my first PlayStation 4 Platinum trophy was actually Infamous Second Son. So there we have it, 10 more great and easy Platinum trophies for you to earn and have fun with. What did you think of this list? If you have any comments or suggestions for future lists or even games to make Platinum, as I slowly suffer and work through Crash Bandicoot 4, please let me know. And as always, thank you for watching.